Alright guys, welcome back. Nick here. We're taking a look at Blue Murder riffs today. We're taking a look at John Sykes, the legendary John Sykes, and some of his cool rhythm parts to a few of these Blue Murder tracks. Sticking mainly to the debut album here, but we'll also take a look at one riff on the second album. Full disclosure, I've taught some of these riffs before, but it's been years ago. And I've got a new sound set up and everything, so I wanted to, it's really inspired, to be honest, to play John Sykes type riffs with this new amp that I'm working with now. It's a Friedman. Right behind me, you can see it. It's a Friedman Double J, and it's the junior version of that. 20 watt head. Also, I'm using the Friedman Buxom Boost, which you can kind of see back here. That white pedal, and the two together are just magic, and so inspired me to bust out some of these Blue Murder riffs. So we're going to take a look at a few of these, and if you're looking for the actual song Blue Murder, that riff, I actually covered that and taught that in my series 30 80s metal riffs in 30 days. Check that out on my playlist. I'll put a link to it at the end, but you can check that riff out. I won't be teaching that one today, so but we're going to get started here. That first riff I taught you was Riot, and we'll take a look at that in just a sec. Before we do, check the description box down below, and I've got a free sweet picking course for you guys. It's called Sweet Picking Boot Camp, and it's entirely free. Videos, tab, guitar profiles, everything you need to get started with sweet picking. Make sure and download that, check that out. And also, I've got the tab for these riffs down there in the description box, so make sure you grab those. All right, here we go. So the first riff is Riot, which is the first song on the debut Blue Murder record, which was my introduction to the band, not John Sykes, because, of course, we knew him from Thin Lizzy and Tigers of Pantang and the big Whitesnake record. But with his own band, it was just mind-blowing. Not only his guitar playing, but his singing and the songwriting was great. So if you like that Whitesnake 89 or 87 album, and you missed this Blue Murder album somehow from 1989, go check it out. You're gonna love it. Okay, the first riff, Riot, goes like this. I'll show you the run that comes in after that in just a second. Key of D, open D string twice, and then we're going to play a part of this F power chord here. This is on the 5th fret G, 6th fret B, and then two more open Ds, and then 2D, 5G, up to 3D, 5G. So you get this. Big slide. Play that same part again, and then two open Ds. Now what we're going to do is slide this F into a G, back to F, back to G, back to F. Sorry, back to G. You're going to do that twice. Like that. Now you could do this. Either one's fine, but what I'm doing here is 5 and 6 on the G and B, slide up to 7 and 8, slide it back to 7 and 8. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Now this cool run goes like this. We're using intervals of sixth here. 12D, 10B, but we're going to play them separately. You notice they kind of do ring together. Slide back 12 to 10 on the B. Grab 10 on the D, slide it back to 9. Grab 8 on the B, slide it back to 6. So we have this. 7D, and then we're going to play these together. This is 5D, 3 Let me start that over. 5D, 5B. You're muting the G string in the middle. Slide that back to 3G, 3B. Sometimes it's easier to play than it is to speak. Cool. So here's that whole thing together. Let me do it slow. And then at the end, same exact riff there then. And that's just some signature Sykes double picking that he does a lot. The Whitesnake, the Blue Murder, and this is actually later on in the song, but I thought it's more interesting to show you this than the intro, which just has a big pick slide. So this is double picking, starting on 5 on the 5 on the A string, and then 7D. You can do that 3 times, and then you're gonna play 5D, 8A, 7A, all double picked, which means pick it twice, down, up, all alternate picking here. Okay, very signature Sykes with the muting in there as well. Okay, and that's the main riff for Riot. Okay, and then later in the song, same song, Riot, right before the solo, there's this awesome double picking part that comes in right before the solo. And I want to show you that. I've never taught this before, so this is super cool. It uses more of this double picking. Let me play it and then we'll break it down. Alright, cool. So all in the key of D minor pentatonic here. The double picking with the muting is what makes it cool, but the coolest part are those slides, starting from above and sliding into the lower note. So let me break down the notes for you. You have the tab, so I'm not going to belabor this too much, but we start on the 12th fret A string. Just one pick there, and then it's going to go twice on every other note. This is and I'll call out the notes here. It's excuse me, 12D, 12A, 10D, 10A, and then 12A, 10D, and then we're going to go 10G, 12D, 9G, 10D, and that's 12D, 12A again, double picking everything. So it's here's what we have so far. Now we're gonna play once on 10D and then 8 on the A. Little pause there, and then it starts over. Just that much of it. You can look at the tab to see what that is. Same notes we just did, just a shorter version. And then we're going into this. So here you're going to slide from above. No specific point. I'd say somewhere around the 12th, 13th fret. Slide into 9 on the G, 10D, 10A, 8 on the low E. Super. I just love the way that sounds. Let me play the whole thing again. was two really cool riffs from the song Riot by Blue Murder and Mr. John Sykes. Next up, we're taking a look at the song Billy, and I'm going to show you the main riff and sort of the chorus part as well. So, and again, more double picking here, which this has to be like a Sykes signature. I've also heard players like Jakey Lee do this a lot. Joe Stump, I don't know how many of you guys know Joe Stump. I hear him do this quite a bit too. I think it's kind of a classical thing, so it would fit with that neoclassical thing when you're outlining chords and arpeggios to double pick. But for Sykes, it's more of a rock and roll thing, So I'm not sure where he got it from, but it's definitely a signature of his playing. So we're going to get into that. So the actual song is in the key of E minor this time. Okay, that's the main riff, and then it has this cool double picking breakdown. But let's work on this first. Sliding into 7 and 8 on the G and B string. And the educated among you will know that's a G5. We're just playing the top part. Okay, now the only tricky part here is you got to sort of count these out. So you're going to play this E note on the 7th fret A string, play it 5 times. And then 4 times on the D on the 5th fret A string. So let's do that. And then 3 times on the 7th fret on the low E string. It's your B note. That comes out even. You get 5, 4, 3. So that's 12 notes there. That's important to get that, or else you'll get off track rhythmically. Okay, and so you're going to put that together with this. And really what I'm doing is kind of sliding in from a half step below to get that. But it happens so fast you don't really hear the slide. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. That's the main part of the riff. Now the super melodic part here, where it works through a C chord to a D chord, back to the E riff, double picking, right? So here, this is very, very reminiscent of the middle section, Still the Night by Whitesnake. But slightly different. So the notes are 3rd fret on the A string. All these are double picked, so you're going to pick twice, down, up. That's 4, 5, 4 on the D string. Skip over to the B string and play 3rd fret. And now go 5, 4, 5 on the D. Notice the muting. Okay. Then move to a D shape. And that's the pattern. It's 5 on the A string. 4, 5, 4 on the D. 7, 5 on the D, again all double picked. 4G, 5D. Okay, that leads you right back into the riff. And that's that's it. That's Billy. Check that out. Great for the picking hand workout for sure on that. Okay, that was Blackhearted Woman. This is in the key of F sharp. Basically, we'll be pedaling from an F sharp note on the 2nd fret low E string here and playing these chords on the 2nd fret D and G and 4th fret D and G. It's pretty fast, so alternate picking. You'll find that when you play the little chord shapes here, you probably should be doing those on a downstroke. 2 more here, and then we're going to play this. That's 4th fret D and G, 2nd fret D and G, 2nd fret D, 1st fret G. Finger it that way too. There's a couple ways you could do. You could grab that F sharp with your thumb. You can do this. Or you could just flatten them out. Okay, and the second time it just goes. And that's playing to the A chord on the 2nd fret D and G. Now we're playing a B power chord here. Open A string in between. A power chord, and then 4, 3, open on the low E. Okay, so let me put all that together slow. A little slower. Okay, and that's Blackhearted Woman. All right, that is from the 2nd Blue Murder album, Nothing But Trouble. The song is called Cry for Love. Great song, and key of F sharp minor here. Starts out kind of, the intro is just like E to F sharp, A, E, F sharp, pick slide, and then you're into the main riffs. I'm going to show you that. So we're playing the F sharp power chord here, kind of muted. And then we're going to play an E5 power chord. And then we're gonna, so what you're doing is playing a low E in between the other F sharp power chord there. And then the lick. Does that sound familiar? Any of you have any idea where that's from? Yeah. Well, anyway, it's okay to rip off yourself. It's perfectly legit to rip off yourself. It's 2, 3 on the A string, 2, open A, and then pull off 2 to the open A. Pull off from 2 low E to the open E. So we have this. And we're going to play. That's 4 and 5 on the G and B. Part of an E5 chord. Back to like a B chord here. That's 4 and 4 on the D and G. So and then same thing back to an E, but now we go B5, pickup bar here is E5, F5, back to the riff. Okay, so let me play all of that slow. That's it, you just repeat that. One more time. All right, Cry for Love for ya. Great riff. Hope you enjoyed this look at some John Sykes Blue Murder riffs. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Blue Murder track is. If you're a big John Sykes fan like me, you can't get enough of this stuff. Had fun playing these with my Friedman Chub Tone guitar here. These guys make great guitars. Super Strat if you're into that. Charvel kind of guitars. Check them out, chubtone.com. Great stuff. And Friedman, of course, making some killer amps. That's it, guys. Check that description box down below. Grab your free sweet picking guide. Grab your tab and go play some Blue Murder. I'll see you next time. Rock on.